Hello students, welcome to this today's class session. Today I'm going to start the second unit, shear force and bending moment in the mechanics of solids. Shear force and bending moment concepts. First of all, we have to learn that shear force and bending moment concepts, and this unit is a totally graphical method. That means shear force bending moment diagrams. We have to draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams for different types of beams. This total unit is related to the beams. What is meant by a beam? First of all, we have to define it. What is a beam? A beam is a horizontal member on which the external forces acting perpendicular to the axis of it and which is supporting on different supports. This beam having different types of beams are there in general applications, in engineering applications. Let us look one by one. This slide shows that the beam definition. A member subjected to external forces which are acting at right angles to the longitudinal axis is called beam. The beam must be horizontal on which the transverse loads are acting. Coming to the types of beams. In this chapter, we have 3 types of beams in the syllabus, but there are a number of beams are there in the engineering applications. Those number of beams are under 2 classifications. Those 2 classifications are statically determinant beams and second one is statically indeterminate beams. Statically determinant means we can resolve or we can analyze those type of beams by using static equilibrium equations. We have 3 static equilibrium equations. We know that is sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma fy is equal to 0 and sigma m equal to 0. These 3 are the static equilibrium equations. By using these 3 equations, we can solve the beams problems. Those beam problems are called statically determinant problems. And coming to the statically indeterminate beams means we cannot solve by using the static equilibrium equations. Along with the static equilibrium equations, we required another equation called compatibility equation to solve the statically indeterminate beams. Under statically determinate beams, we have 3 types. First one is cantilever beam. Cantilever beam is the beam which is fixed at one end and free at another end. The diagram shows that the beam which is horizontal member which is fixed at one end, this is the fixing end, and another end is free to displace or free to deflection. This type of beam is called the cantilever beam. Generally, the engineering applications of cantilever beam or the projected area in front of the building structure. Generally, we provide this type of beam. At a parking place in front of the beam, we provide a cantilever beam, that is Fortco, which is fixed at one end, that is fixed by the walls, and another end is free at the parking place of the building. It will be provided. So second type of beam is simply supported beam. Simply supported beam means the beam which is resting on 2 supports at 2 ends of the beam. So a beam resting on the 2 supports is called the simply supported beam. This is the beam horizontal member which is resting on two supports. The supports must be at the ends of the beam, then only that type of beam is called the simply supported beam. These are the two types of supports are placed. One support is called the hinge support. This support is called the hinge support, and this support is called the roller support. Some rollers are there, roller support. What is the hinge support? What is the roller support? Hinge support is support which restricts the movement of the beam in two directions, in X and Y directions. So this support which will be restricted to movement of beam in two directions. Therefore, at this support, two reactions will be developed. One is called the vertical reaction force, and another one is the horizontal reaction force. Second type of support is a roller support. This support is restrict the movement of the beam in only one direction, that is Y direction. In X direction, the beam can be moved at the roller support. Therefore, at the roller support, only one reaction will be developed after applying the load on the beam, that is vertical reaction at some place, that is the RB. B is the point at which the support is placed. So that is the VB or VR or RB, whatever it is. Vertical reactions will be developed at the roller support, and two reactions, that is the vertical and the horizontal reaction forces, will be developed at the hinge support. This is the hinge support, and this is the roller support. Previously, I explained that a cantilever beam, which is fixed, this fixed, rigidly fixed, this is the fixed support. At this fixed support, we have one reaction, that is the vertical reactions will be developed, and also along with the vertical reactions, one couple or movement will be developed at the fixed support. So these are the two reactive forces will be developed. One is the reaction or reactive force, another one is the reactive couple, which will be developed at the fixed support. This is called the fixed support. These two are the hinge support, and one is the roller support. Coming to the third type of beam under the statically determined beams is overhanging beam. What is a overhanging beam? A beam which is projected beyond the supports on either sides or one side of the supports. A beam which projected beyond or both of its supports and can be subjected to loads outside the supports as well as between them is called the overhanging beam. The diagram shows that this is the overhanging beam, the beam which is supported by the two supports here, and the sum of the beam portion will be extended beyond the supports. The supports are not at the end points. Somewhere in between the beams and the beam which will be projected beyond the supports, this type of beam is called the overhanging beam. This portion, the portion of the beam which is beyond the supports, is called the overhanging portion. Dear students, generally practical application of this overhanging beam is chassis of the automobiles or chassis of the automobile vehicles. Chassis means the platform on which the automobile bodies will be developed is called the chassis. The chassis which is supported by the two axles, so there is the front axle and the rear axle. This is the front tire, rear tire, there is a back tire. Front axle and rear axle paina the base chassis work outu untundi. This is the chassis is under the overhanging beam because some of the chassis portion will be extended beyond the axles on front and back side. Dear students, this is the overhanging beam. These three are under the statically determinant beams which are in our syllabus. And remaining beams are there, two beams, continuous beams and fixed beams. These are under the statically indeterminate beams which cannot be solved only by the equilibrium equations. Okay, continuous beam. A beam which is supporting on more than two supports is known as continuous beam. So it is the beam which is supporting or resting on more than two supports. Here we placed four supports are there. Like this, the beam is resting more than two supports is called the continuous beam. This is under statically indeterminate beam, because we have a lot of unknowns. That is the more than 2-3 unknowns at the support reactions. Next, the last type of beam is fixed beam. This is also under statically indeterminate beams. This fixed beam is also called built-in beam. Built-in beam. This built-in beam means the beam which is fixed at both ends, rigidly fixed at both ends. Like this, if the beam is there, horizontal member which is fixed at the one end and also fixed at another end. Like this, the beam is placed in between the two fixed supports, two fixed rigidly fixed supports. That beam is called the fixed beam or built-in beam. Here also the unknowns are more than 3, because at two fixed supports, two reactions will be developed, and at two fixed supports, two reactive couples will be developed. These are the 4 unknowns. These 4 unknowns cannot be solved by using 3 equilibrium equations. So along with the equilibrium equation, we require compatibility equation. So that's why these two beams are called statically indeterminate beams. These are not in our syllabus. Only first three are statically determinate beams are under statically determinate beams are in our syllabus. Clear, students? Let us go for the another slide. After knowing the types of beams, we have to know the types of loads in this chapter, because types of beams and types of loads, this combination, we have to draw the shear force and bending moment for the beams for different combination of loads and beams. So what are the different types of loads are generally applied on the beams? First types of loads. First type of load is concentrated load or point load. It is also called point load. What is meant by a point load? Point load means the load which is concentrated on the beam at a single point is called the concentrated load or point load, which is denoted by capital W. Dear students, here I showed 2 examples. In the figure A cantilever beam. Figure A is a cantilever beam which is fixed at one end, and at the free end we are applying a point load or concentrated load W. Due to this point load or concentrated load, the beam member bends or deflection like this. So this type of load is called the concentrated load or point load, which is concentrated at a single point on the beam, not at every point of the beam, only at single point of the beam. The beam load is called the point load or concentrated load. Another example which is showed in the diagram B, that is, it is simply supported beam. Simply supported beam means the beam which is resting on 2 supports at the ends. These are the 2 support reaction supports at the ends on which the load is applying on the at the center, that is W. This W is called the point load or concentrated load, which is concentrated at, which is applying at a single point. Dear students, coming to the uniformly distributed load, second type of load, we have to know that uniformly distributed load. Shortly, it is called UDL. UDL. It also another name. It is having another name, that is the rectangular load. It is also called a rectangular load because the diagram, the load diagram can be represented as a rectangle. Uniformly distributed load means the load which is distributed or spread over the entire length of the beam. The rate of loading of the beam is uniform. That means the load which is not acting at a single point, which is distributed throughout the member, throughout the length of the beam. Clear, students? This is a representation of the load, uniformly distributed load on the beam. This is the representation of load on the beam. This is uniformly distributed load, which is denoted by small w. Small w, which is denoted by small w. Units for the small w are load per unit length. Load per unit length. Load means which is represented generally newtons or kilonewtons per unit length, per meter length. The load is acting is unit for that is a rate of loading, uniformly distributed load. Dear students, point load earlier, the point load I explained that the point load is represented by capital W. The load point load units are newtons, only newtons, but the rate of loading, that is the uniformly distributed load, having the units are newtons per meter. That means for every meter how much load is acting, that is the rate of loading or uniformly distributed load. This load can be represented as like this. If the simply supported beam is like this, the beam which is supporting on two supports its ends, and the load is also represented like this. Some of the books, the uniformly distributed load which is represented as a rectangular shape like this. So this is a uniformly distributed load throughout the member. Therefore, it is also called the rectangular load. Rectangular load. Yes, students. Coming to the next type of load is uniformly varying load. Uniformly varying load or UVL. Uniformly varying load, which is also called triangular load. Which is also called triangular load because the load is varying on the beam continuously, uniformly from 0 to maximum as a triangle. Let us look at the diagram of the beam, load and beam. This is a simply support beam. This is the beam on which is supporting on two supports at ends. That's why it is called the simply supported beam. SSB, in the short form it is called the SSB, simply supported beam, on which the load is varying from 0 at the left support to maximum at the right support. This maximum load is represented by again small w. The small w units again same as the UDL, that is newtons per meter. For every meter length, what is the load acting in the triangular on the beam. So this is the uniformly varying load. This type of load is called the uniformly varying load. It is in the form of triangular shape. Clear, students? These are the three types of loads we have in the syllabus, along with the three types of beams. Those are simply cantilever beam, simply supported beam, and overhanging beams are the beams which I have in our syllabus. Clear, students? So combination of those three beams with these three loads, then we can easily draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams for these three types of beams with three types of load combination. Total 9 types of problems are there to solve for the shear force and bending moment diagrams. Clear, students? Let us go for the next slide. What is the reaction? What is the reaction forces? Reaction forces are, what is mean by a reaction force? The force which are set up at the supports by applying the external loads. A beam loaded externally set up forces at the supports are known as reactions. ఎక్కడైతే సపోర్ట్ ఉంటుందో అక్కడ లోడ్ అప్లై చేయడం వల్ల కొంత ఫోర్స్ డెవలప్ అవుతాయి. The forces నే reaction forces or reactive forces అంటారు. So let us look the problem. Let us look the diagram. That is a simply supported beam. The beam which is supporting at A and B. The A having the hinge support and B having the roller support on which the load is acting W. The modified diagram like this. The reactive forces at A is RA, at B is RB by applying the load W. Due to the load applying on the beam, the internal forces at the supports will be developed on the beam or called the reactive forces. RA, RB are the reactions or reactive forces. Clear, students? Coming to the actual topic in our second unit is shear force. What is mean by a shear force? It is not a single force on the beam. Shear force means it is the algebraic summation of all the forces acting to the right of or left of the section is known as shear force at that section. For example, consider any section or any point on the beam. If we want to find the shear force at that point, then we have to add all the forces either right or left of that point is called the shear force at that point. Section means if we take any point on the beam at that point is called also section. So shear force, once again, it is very important in this chapter. What is the shear force? Shear force is the algebraic summation of the forces acting to the right or left. Either right or left of the section is known as shear force at that section. Next, shear force having, that is the sign convention is also important in this chapter. Shear force ఎప్పుడు పాజిటివ్ అవుతుంది ఎప్పుడు నెగటివ్ అవుతుంది అనేది. So these two paragraphs represents the sign convention of shear force on the beam. So a shear force having downward direction to the right side of the section or an upward to the left side of the section will be considered as positive. Once again, I will explain with this diagram. Let us take this beam having the two reaction forces and load is acting. This is a simply supported beam. For example, this is the section we are taking to find the shear force at the particular section XX. XX is the section at which we are going to find the shear force. What is the shear force is XX? So shear force means what is the shear force at this particular point? Shear force on the beam means the algebraic summation of all the forces either right side of the section or left side of the section. ఈ సెక్షన్ కి రైట్ సైడ్ లో ఉండే ఫోర్సెస్ ఏమున్నాయి? W ఉంది and also RB is also there on the right side. సో ఇక్కడ W పాజిటివ్ నెగటివ్ RB పాజిటివ్ నెగటివ్ అనేది ఎలా ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తామంటే a shear force having downward direction, a shear force having downward direction, a shear force having downward direction to the right side. ఈ సెక్షన్ కి రైట్ సైడ్ లో downwards ఉన్న, otherwise upward to the left section of the consider upwards to the left of the section. దీనికి upward left side లో upwards ఉన్న దాన్ని ఎలా కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి? పాజిటివ్ గా కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి. సో రైట్ సైడ్ లో ఉండే డౌన్వర్డ్ ఫోర్సెస్, లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ లో ఉండే అప్వర్డ్ ఫోర్సెస్ కన్సిడర్ యాజ్ పాజిటివ్. అంటే రైట్ సైడ్ లో కన్సిడర్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు W అనేది పాజిటివ్ అవుతుంది, RB అనేది నెగటివ్ అవుతుంది. సో సిమిలర్లీ a shear force having an upward direction to the right side of a section or downwards to the left side of the section will be taken as negative. అంటే ఈ సెక్షన్ కి రైట్ సైడ్ లో అప్వర్డ్ ఉన్న, ఈ సెక్షన్ కి లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ లో డౌన్వర్డ్ ఫోర్స్ ఉంటే that will be taken as negative. Clear, students? But if we want to find the shear force at particular section or a particular point, we have to consider the one side of the section only, either right side of the section or left side of the section. Then only we can get the shear force at the particular point on the beam. Clear, students? Let us check what is the shear force at XX. That is, let us take Fx is the shear force at XX. Fx. What is the shear force at XX according to this definition? Shear force definition is algebraic summation of all the forces acting to the right or left. Only we have to take one side of the section. Both are same, either for left side or right side, whatever it is, you have to consider only one side. So Fx is equal to W and RB are the right side of forces. W is the positive because it is the downward direction on the right side, it is taken as positive. Okay, and RB is the negative because it is the upward direction to the right side of the section, is therefore it is taken as negative. So RB, W minus RB is the shear force at XX at this particular point. Or you have to take another equation for the left side of the section. So let us take the shear force at XX. Also the shear force at XX is equal to, if we consider the left side of the section, left side of the point, the only one force is there, that is the RA. RA is positive or negative? On the left side of the section, the upward force to the left side of the section is taken as positive. So RA is positive. So therefore, Fx is also is equal to RA. So if we want to find the shear force at particular point, these two equations can be used. Both are equal. Fx equal to W minus RB, or Fx is equal to RA. We can equate them, then we can get the reaction forces. If we equate them, W minus RB equal to RA, therefore W is equal to, or RA plus RB is equal to W. RA plus RB is equal to W. We can get the one of the equilibrium equation, that is the sigma Fy equal to 0. If we equate these two, RA equal to W minus RB, therefore RA plus RB equal to W. This is the equilibrium equation because the load is applying on the beam. The load must be equal to the summation of the reaction forces. RA plus RB is equal to W. Students? So like this, we have to find the shear force, and sign conventions are shear force like this. Let us go for the next slide for the diagram oriented sign conventions. This is the diagram oriented sign conventions. This is a shear force, negative shear force. This is the positive shear force. In sentence, I explained that if we consider the section at this particular point, for the right side of the section, this side, for the right side of the section, if it is applying the downward force, or left side of the section, this is the upward force. These two considered as positive shear force, positive forces when we calculating the shear force. Then this is the negative shear force. If we consider the section at particular point in the beam, if the right side of the section, right side of that section, the force is upwards, and left side of the section, the force is downwards, then these two forces are considered as negative shear force. Okay, clear students? This is that very important sign conventions in this chapter, because we follow the sign convention further we are while we are solving the problems. Come to the example. One of the example to understand neatly the shear force. What is shear force? So shear force on the right side. The shear force on the right side, if upward force is there, it is taken as negative. Dini negative ga teeskuntam. And downwards as positive. Ade right side lo downwards unte, which is taken as positive. So in this total chapter, we are considering only one side of the section, only one side, that is the right side of the section. So ఈ చాప్టర్ మొత్తం మనం రైట్ సైడ్ ని ఫాలో అవుతూ వెళ్తాం. అదర్వైజ్ లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ కూడా ఫాలో అవ్వచ్చు, ఏదైనా ఒక సైడ్ ఫాలో అవ్వాలి. సో రైట్ సైడ్ ఫాలో అయినప్పుడు దీస్ ఆర్ ద సైన్ కన్వెన్షన్స్. రైట్ సైడ్ మనం ఫాలో అవుతున్నప్పుడు అప్వర్డ్ ఫోర్సెస్ ఆర్ నెగిటివ్, డౌన్వర్డ్ ఫోర్సెస్ ఆర్ పాజిటివ్. ఎందుకు డౌన్వర్డ్ ఫోర్సెస్ పాజిటివ్ తీసుకోవాలంటే జనరల్ గా లోడ్ విల్ బి యాక్టింగ్ ఆల్వేస్ ఇన్ డౌన్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్. బీమ్ పైన మనకి లోడ్ ఆల్వేస్ ఏ డైరెక్షన్ లో యాక్ట్ అవుతుంది? లోడ్ అంటే ఏంటి? దట్ ఈస్ ద మాస్ ఇంటూ యాక్సలరేషన్ టు గ్రావిటీ. Mass into acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is always acting downwards. That's why load is acting on the beam always downwards. If the load is acting on the downwards, then it is taken as positive. If and only if the upward forces are taken as negative. If the loads are acting on the beam upwards forcibly, then that can be taken as negative force. Clear students? అర్థమవుతుందా? సో ఇక్కడ ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇచ్చా మీకు. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అది అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. దిస్ ఇస్ ద బీమ్. The beam is resting on two supports, therefore it is called the simply supported beam as earlier said. So RA and RB are the reactive forces at A and B. A, B are the support points. RA, RB are the reaction forces at the supports, and three forces are loads are acting on the beam F1, F2, F3, which are acting downwards on the beam at the point C, D, and E somewhere else. Dear students, due to this loads F1, F2, F3, the reaction forces will be developed or set up at the supports RA, RB. Let us consider any section XX between the C and D. Let us consider any section between C and D. We have to find the shear force of the beam at particular section at this point. Let us take that point as F. Okay, F అనే point దగ్గర మనం shear force calculate చేయాలి అనుకోండి. What is the shear force at point F? Therefore, shear force at a given section is Fx. Let us take Fx because it's section XX means this is taken as Fx. Shear force is Fx. Fx is equal to, either we have to consider the right side forces or left side forces. First of all, right side forces are F2, F3 and RB are there. F2, F3 are downward direction, RB is in upward direction. Therefore, as per our conventions, as per our sign convention, the F2, F3 are taken as positive and RB is negative because it is upward direction on the right side. These are the two downward direction on the right side. Therefore, F2 plus F3 minus RB is the shear force at point XX, at point F. Clear students? Otherwise, E equation aina use cheyochu. Otherwise, if we follow the left side conventions, or Fx is equal to shear force at this point is equal to, if we consider the left side forces, F1 or RA are there. F1 is in downward direction, RA is in upward direction. On the left side, we have to consider the upward forces as positive, downward forces are negative. Therefore, RA minus F1. RA minus F1. RA is the upward, F1 is the downward. Therefore, Fx is equal to shear force at particular section XX is equal to RA minus F1. Either consider this one or consider left side section. Both are equal. If we equate these two, then we can get the equilibrium equation. If we equate these two, RA minus F1 equal to F2 plus F3 minus RB. Therefore, by equating these two, RA plus RB equal to RA plus RB is upward forces. It is equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3. This is the one of the equilibrium equation, sigma Fy equal to 0. We can get by equating the shear force on right side and left side. But while calculating the shear force at particular point, we have to consider only one side of the section. Clear students? This is the sign convention of shear force. Let us go for another slide, that is the bending moment. Next parameter in this chapter is bending moment. One of the parameter is shear force. Already we studied what is shear force, what is the definition of shear force, what are the conventions, sign conventions of the shear force, how to calculate the shear force. These are all learned in the previous slides. So now the bending moment. What is the bending moment? What is the sign convention generally we follow for bending moment? And how to calculate the bending moment. First of all, we go for definition of bending moment. What is the bending moment? We know the engineering mechanics. In the engineering mechanics, the moment. What is the moment? It is the force into perpendicular distance is the moment. Force into perpendicular distance. Let us explain first of all what is the moment. For example, one member is there. On that member, one force is acting like this, F, at a distance of L from particular point A. So, A. So what is the moment of force, this force about point A and A? F into L. F is the force acting on the member and distance from the A is capital L. So F into L is the moment out. F into L is the moment at particular point A. Clear students? This is the moment. But ikkada bending moment we have to find out. Bending moment means It is the algebraic summation of all the movements, algebraic summation of the movements of all the forces acting to the right or left of the section is called the bending moment, BM. That is the shear force. It is generally notated by SF. SF is the shear force, BM is the bending moment. So what is the bending moment? You understand? Bending moment means sum of the movements of all the forces acting either right or left of the section. Either right or left of the section. Let us go, for example, let us consider this example again. The example mani consider cheste manamu ee example lo what is the bending moment at this particular section XX? How to calculate the bending moment at particular section according to the definition? Definition is the movements of all the forces either right of the section or left of the section is called the bending moment. Here XX, consider XX section. According to the definition of bending moment, what is the bending moment at this particular XX section? Let us take F as a point. What is the bending moment at F? How to calculate the bending moment at F? Bending moment means it is the movement of all the forces. Means F2 is there at the right side, F3 is there, and RB is also there. So these are the three forces on the right side. F1 RA are the left side forces. We have to consider only one side of the section. If we consider the right side of the section, these forces F2, F3, RB are there. What are the movements? Summation of all the movements of these F2, F3 and RB about the point A is called the bending moment at particular point F. Yes, students. So what is the moment of F2 about point F? That is F2 into the distance between the section and D. That is, let us take FD. FD is the distance between the section and the point of application of force. So this is the moment of the force F2 about point F. Next, what is the moment of F3 about point F? దీని వల్ల ఈ F3 వల్ల ఇక్కడ ఎంత మూమెంట్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది అంటే ఈ F3 ఫోర్స్ ఇంటూ ఆ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ అప్లికేషన్ నుండి ఆ పాయింట్ కి డిస్టెన్స్. సో EF, F3 into EF is the movement of this force F3 about point F. Similarly, what is the movement of RB about point F? అంటే RB వల్ల ఈ పాయింట్ F దగ్గర ఎంత మూమెంట్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది? RB into perpendicular distance between the point of application and point of movement calculation. So RB into enta cheyali? RB into FB. RB into FB is the moment of this force RB with respect to the point F. Clear, students? These are the movements of all the forces. ఇవన్నీ మనం యాడ్ చేస్తే algebraic summation. Algebraic summation అంటే కొన్నేమో ఈ F2 ఏమో ఇక్కడ మూవ్మెంట్ క్లాక్ వైజ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో డెవలప్ చేస్తుంది. F3 కూడా పాయింట్ F దగ్గర క్లాక్ వైజ్ మూవ్మెంట్ డెవలప్ చేస్తుంది. బట్ RB ఏమో F దగ్గర యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ మూవ్మెంట్ డెవలప్ చేస్తుంది. మూవ్మెంట్ అంటే క్లాక్ వైజ్ యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ ఉంటుంది. సో RB ఏమో యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ మూవ్మెంట్ డెవలప్ చేస్తుంది. Whenever the clockwise anti-clockwise movement is there on the right side of the section, it is taken as positive. అంటే RB వల్ల డెవలప్ అయ్యే మూమెంట్స్ ని మనం పాజిటివ్ తీసుకుంటాం. F2, F3 వల్ల డెవలప్ అయ్యే మూమెంట్స్ ని నెగటివ్ తీసుకుంటాం. Therefore RB into FB minus F3 into FE minus F2 into DF or FD. Like that we have to calculate the bending moment at XX. Clear, students? ఈ డెఫినేషన్ మీకు అర్థం కావడానికి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకొని చెప్పాను. Let us go for again definition and sign conventions. So the algebraic sum of the forces movements of the algebraic sum of the movements of all the forces acting to the right or left of the section is called the bending moment. Adhe shear force ante algebraic summation of all the forces, bending moment ante algebraic summation of all the movements, only one side of the section. Let us go for the sign convention. A bending moment having anti-clockwise, ఇందాక చెప్పిన విధంగా a bending moment having the anti-clockwise to the right of the section, right hand side of a section, or clockwise to the left of the section will be taken as positive. అంటే మనం ఒక సెక్షన్ కన్సిడర్ చేస్తే దానికి రైట్ సైడ్ లో యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఉన్నా, అదర్వైజ్ లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ లో క్లాక్ వైజ్ ఉన్నా దాన్ని మనం పాజిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అంటాం. పాజిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్. క్లియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్? And the second paragraph explain that similarly a bending moment having clockwise to the right hand side of the section or anti-clockwise to the left of the section will be taken as negative. Will be taken as negative. A bending moment having clockwise to the right of the section or anti-clockwise to the left of the section will be taken as negative. Consider a beam on the section. Consider a simply supported beam, RARB. If we want to calculate the bending moment at that particular section or particular point, according to this paragraph, the sign convention, anti-clockwise direction on the right side. ఈ సెక్షన్ కి రైట్ సైడ్ లో యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఉన్న, ఈ సెక్షన్ కి లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ లో క్లాక్ వైజ్ ఉన్న దాన్ని మనం ఏం కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి? పాజిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ గా కన్సిడర్ చేస్తాం. నెక్స్ట్ సెకండ్ పారాగ్రాఫ్ ఏం చెప్తుంది అంటే రైట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ కి క్లాక్ వైజ్ ఉంది, లెఫ్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ కి యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ డైరెక్షన్ ఉంటే దాన్ని ఎలా కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి? నెగటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ గా కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి. క్లియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్? సో ఈ సైన్ కన్వెన్షన్స్ ఈ చాప్టర్ మొత్తానికి ఇంపార్టెంట్. సైన్ కన్వెన్షన్స్ అండ్ డెఫినేషన్స్ ఆఫ్ షియర్ ఫోర్స్ అండ్ బెండింగ్. Once again go through the video and observe the definitions of shear force and bending moment and also their conventions, sign conventions. Again, I explained here in the paragraph, the bending moment causing concavity upwards will be taken as positive. Concavity ante enti again? ఇప్పుడు beam ఇలా ఉంది, ఇనిషియల్ గా బిఫోర్ అప్లయింగ్ ద లోడ్ స్ట్రైట్ గా ఉంది, which is resting on two supports. Every time I am taking simply supported beam on which we are applying the load W. So ఈ beam కి మనం లోడ్ అప్లై చేసినప్పుడు ఇది ఎలా బెండ్ అవుతుంది? జనరల్గా ఇలా బెండ్ అవుతుంది, అంతేనా? ఇలా బెండ్ అవుతుంది. ఆ బెండ్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు దీనికి రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ ఎండ్ లో ఇలాంటి కపుల్ డెవలప్ అవుతుంది, యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్. లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ ఎండ్ లో క్లాక్ వైజ్ కపుల్ డెవలప్ అవుతే ఇలా బెండ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇలా బెండ్ అయినప్పుడు అంటే కాన్కేవిటీ, ఇక్కడ మనం కాన్కేవిటీ అంటే అప్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో కాన్కేవిటీ అంటే ఇది. ఇలా బెండ్ అయినప్పుడు ఈ అప్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో కాన్కేవిటీ డెవలప్ అవుతే కాన్కేవిటీ టేకెన్ యాజ్ పాజిటివ్. అలా కాన్కేవిటీ పైకి వస్తే పాజిటివ్ గా తీసుకుంటాం. అండ్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ సాగింగ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్. ఇలాంటి బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ కి అనదర్ నేమ్ సాగింగ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అంటాం. ఓకే. అదర్వైజ్ ఏ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ కాజింగ్, బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ వల్ల ఏం జరుగుతుంది? కాన్వెక్సిటీ అప్వర్డ్స్. కాన్వెక్సిటీ అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ బీమ్ ఇలా బెండ్ అవుతే ఈ లెఫ్ట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ దగ్గర యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్, రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ దగ్గర క్లాక్ వైజ్ మూమెంట్ డెవలప్ అవుతే ఈ బీమ్ అనేది ఇలా బెండ్ అవుతుంది. ఇలా బెండ్ అయినప్పుడు కాన్వెక్సిటీ ఎట్ అప్వర్డ్స్, కాన్వెక్సిటీ ఉంటే అప్వర్డ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో it is taken as negative. ఈ నెగటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ నే హాగింగ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అంటాం. హాగింగ్ అండ్ సాగింగ్. సాగింగ్ is the positive bending moment, హాగింగ్ is the negative bending moment. సాగింగ్ అంటే బీమ్ కింది వైపు బెండ్ అవుతే, హాగింగ్ అంటే బీమ్ ఇలా పైకి బెండ్ అవుతుంది. కాన్వెక్సిటీ అప్వర్డ్ ఉంటే దాన్ని హాగింగ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ ఆర్ నెగటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అంటాం. కాన్కేవిటీ అప్వర్డ్స్ ఉంటే దాన్ని positive bending moment or sagging bending moment will be considered. Clear students? So these are the bending moments. అంటే beam bend అయినప్పుడు మూమెంట్ అప్లై అవుతాయి at the two ends. ఆ మూమెంట్ యొక్క డైరెక్షన్ బట్టి సైన్ కన్వెన్షన్ మనం తీసుకుంటాం. Clear students? Let us go to the next slide. Here explained the sign convention of the bending moment. ఇందాక చెప్పిన విధంగా beam ఇలా బెండ్ అవుతే రైట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ ఏమో యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్, లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ ఏమో క్లాక్ వైజ్ ఉంటే దాన్ని మనం పాజిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ గా తీసుకుంటాం. ఆ పాజిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ ని సాగింగ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అంటాం. అదర్వైజ్ దీనికి రివర్స్ గా ఉంటే అంటే రైట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ కి క్లాక్ వైజ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్, లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ద సెక్షన్ కి యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ మూమెంట్స్ అప్లై అవుతే దాన్ని నెగటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ గా తీసుకుంటాం. దాన్ని మనం హాకింగ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అంటాం. Clear students? I am going very slowly to explain this shear force and bending moment because these are the very important for this chapter to draw the shear force and bending moment ladder, bending moment diagrams. Let us take an example. What is the example for this to understand easily? Let me explain that this example. Again, I have taken that simply supported beam which having the two reactions of force at A and B. RA and RB are the reaction forces which is showed upward direction. On this beam, F1, F2, F3 again acting on this beam as explained earlier. F1, F2, F3 are the external forces or external loads. Due to those external loads, the two reaction forces will be developed at the supports at A and B. Those RA and RB are the reaction forces. So what is the bending moment at particular point A? Let us consider A point. What is the bending moment at A? Bending moment at A is taken as MA. Capital M is the bending moment, suffix A is the point. Bending moment at particular point A is equal to, because the remaining forces are total forces on right side of the point A. Okay, one of the force which will be passing through the point A. The bending moment of this RA about point A is 0 because the RA is passing through A itself. Therefore, there is no perpendicular distance between the force and the point. Therefore, the bending moment of RA, the moment of RA at particular point A is 0. So remaining force we have to consider the right side forces are RB in upward direction, F3, F1, F2, F3 are the downward direction. What are the bending moment at point? What is the bending moment at point A means? The algebraic summation of all the force, all the movements about all the movements of forces about point A. So RB into AB, RB into distance AB is the movement of RB at point A. Clear students? With respect to A, we have to find the movements of all the forces. RB into AB తీసుకుంటాం. RB in AB ఏ డైరెక్షన్ లో ఉంటుంది? మూమెంట్ ఏ డైరెక్షన్ లో డెవలప్ అవుతుంది? యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ డైరెక్షన్ లో డెవలప్ అవుతుంది అబౌట్ పాయింట్ ఏ. క్లియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్? దీనివల్ల బీమ్ ఇలా బెండ్ అయ్యి ఇలా పైకి వెళ్ళిపోయి ఇలా రొటేట్ అవుతుంది. సో దీని యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ మూమెంట్ అంటాం. సో యాంటీ క్లాక్ వైజ్ మూమెంట్ ఏగా తీసుకోవాలి మనం? రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు, రైట్ హ్యాండ్ సైడ్ లో ఉన్నప్పుడు anti-clockwise is taken as positive bending moment. So RB into AB is the positive anti-clockwise. Remaining F1, F2, F3 or develops clockwise movements about point A because these are the downward direction. ఇలా movements develop చేస్తాయి. ప్రతి ఫోర్స్ కూడా about point A clockwise movements develop చేస్తాయి కాబట్టి these movements are taken as negative. అందువల్ల ప్రతి దానికి నేను నెగటివ్ తీసుకున్నాను. So F3 into AE distance is the perpendicular distance minus F2 into AD is the perpendicular distance minus F1 into AC is the perpendicular distance. These three movements are clockwise movements on the right side of the section A. Therefore, it is taken as negative bending moments. Therefore, total bending moment at point A is algebraic summation of all the movements on the right side of the point A like this. ఈ విధంగా మనం బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం. ఏ దగ్గర క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసాను. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లెట్ us take another section in between C and D or in between D and E. Wherever we can calculate the bending moment. ఎక్కడైనా కూడా మనం బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. Let us take XX at this section between CD. What is the bending moment at XX? How to calculate the bending moment at XX? We have to consider the forces either right side or left of the section. If we consider the right side of the section, F2, F3 and RB is there. So shear force at XX is Fx. Fx is equal to, sorry, bending moment kadadi. Bending moment ki manam Mx తీసుకుంటాం. Mx, bending moment Mx. Shear force is F తో represent చేస్తాం. Mx is equal to RB into ఎంతేయాలి? RB into the distance between the point of application of load and point of calculation of movement. Let us take this point as F. The F అవుతే F దగ్గర bending moment calculate చేస్తే RB into ఎంత చేయాలి? FB. F in into FB is the distance from the point of application of force and the point. It is positive or negative. It is the anti-clockwise movement will be developed about the point F. Therefore, it is taken as positive itself. Next, F2, F3. Similarly, F2 is the minus movement will be developed. F2 into distance FD. Dear students, force into perpendicular distance is the movement which is negative if it is develops a clockwise movement at right side, or anti-clockwise movement at right side is positive. Minus F3 into entirely F3 into distance between E and F. That is the EF. So this is the bending moment at point XX or a point F. Clear students? Like this, you have to calculate the bending moment at every point. We can calculate the bending moment at every point of the beam. Clear students? Let us go into the concept, and the definition is there for related to the bending moment. Point of contraflexor. Clearly observe that point of contraflexor. What is mean by point of contraflexor? A point of contraflexor in a beam is that point at which the bending moment is zero. ఎక్కడైతే బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ జీరో అవుతుందో ఇలా మనం క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ యాడ్ చేసినప్పుడు ఆల్జీబ్రిక్ సమ్మేషన్ చేసినప్పుడు MA జీరో అయింది అనుకోండి, therefore the A point is called the point of contraflexor. Otherwise, if you take the section between the C and D, XX section, then after calculating the bending moment at between the C and D, if it is zero at the point F or C between the C and D, then the point of contraflexor is point F. A point F name on a term, point of contraflexor. Wherever the bending moment is zero or changes its sign from positive to negative or negative to positive, then that point is called the point of contraflexor. ఎక్కడైతే పాజిటివ్ నుండి నెగిటివ్ చేంజ్ అవుతుందో దాన్ని జీరో అవుతుంది. లెట్ us take if it పాజిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అనుకోండి, ఈ పాయింట్ దగ్గర నెగిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అనుకోండి. ఈ పాజిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ నుండి నెగిటివ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ కి ఎక్కడైతే వెళ్తుందో ఆ పాయింట్ ని పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ కాంట్రాఫ్లెక్సర్ అంటాం. అంటే పాజిటివ్ టు నెగిటివ్ చేంజ్ అయ్యే పాయింట్ ఎంత బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ ఉంటుంది? జీరో బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్. సో జీరో బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ ఉన్న పాయింట్ ని ఏమనాలి? పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ కాంట్రాఫ్లెక్సర్ అంటాం. క్లియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్? Point of contraflexor and ఏంటి? The point at which the bending moment is zero or bending moment changes its sign from positive to negative or vice versa. Vice versa means negative to positive. Next, shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. What is the diagram which shows the shear force? So shear force diagram is a graph showing the variation of shear force along the beam. It's called the shear force diagram. A diagram మనకి ఏం రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తుంది? shear force ప్రతి పాయింట్ దగ్గర shear force ఏ విధంగా ఉంది beam పైన. So what is the variation of shear force on that particular beam, which represents by the shear force diagram? Simply which shows the shear force variation on the beam. Next, bending moment diagram is similarly a graph showing the variation of bending moment along the beam is called the bending moment diagram. The diagram which shows the bending moment variation along the beam. అంటే every point దగ్గర bending moment ఎలా ఉంది, ఆ bending moment వల్ల beam position ఏంటి అనేది రిప్రజెంట్ చేసే diagram ఏంటి? Bending moment diagram. Okay, these are the two diagrams we are going to draw the different types of beams and loads. Clear students? Some note I represent here. I placed here note. What is the note? One, bending moment is maximum at a point where the shear force is zero or where it changes direction from positive to negative or negative to positive. ఇది ఒక పాయింట్ మనకి తెలుసుకోవాల్సింది. షియర్ ఫోర్స్ అనేది ఎక్కడ జీరో అవుతుందో, ఇందాక నేను చెప్పాను బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ జీరో అనే పాయింట్. If the bending moment zero, then that point is called the point of contraflexor. ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్పానంటే షియర్ ఫోర్స్ జీరో అంటున్నాం. షియర్ ఫోర్స్ జీరో ఎక్కడైతే అవుతుందో బీమ్ లో, అదర్వైజ్ పాజిటివ్ ను నెగిటివ్ కానీ నెగిటివ్ నుండి పాజిటివ్ ఎక్కడైతే చేంజ్ అవుతుందో షియర్ ఫోర్స్, ఆ పాయింట్ దగ్గర షియర్ ఫోర్స్ జీరో అయిన పాయింట్ దగ్గర బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ మాక్సిమం ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, షియర్ ఫోర్స్ 0 అయిన పాయింట్ దగ్గర బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ ఏ విధంగా ఉంటుంది? మాక్సిమం బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ ఉంటుంది బీమ్ లో. సెకండ్ నోట్, ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ ఇంక్లైన్ లోడ్స్, ఒకవేళ బీమ్ పైన వర్టికల్ లోడ్స్ కాకుండా ఇంక్లైన్ లోడ్స్ అప్లై అవుతే, లెట్ us consider a simply supported beam like this. If load is not applying on the beam vertically, if the load is applying in this direction at a certain angle theta, let us take the W is the load which is acting inclinedly on the beam. Here students, in case of inclined loads, resolve them. ఈ force ని మనం ఏం చేయాలి? Resolve this force into vertical force and horizontal force like this. దీన్ని మనం ఫస్ట్ రిజాల్వ్ చేసుకుంటాం, వర్టికల్ గా హారిజాంటల్ గా రిజాల్వ్ చేసుకుంటాం. రిజాల్వ్ చేసుకున్న ఫోర్స్ ఏమవుతాయి? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ద ఇంక్లినేషన్ ఆఫ్ లోడ్ ఇస్ theta with the beam, then this force is W sin theta అవుతుంది. The vertical load is W sin theta అవుతుంది. Horizontal force is W cos theta అవుతుంది. If we resolve the inclined force towards the vertical and the horizontal, then W sin theta is the vertical force and W cos theta is the horizontal force. Therefore, this W cos theta horizontal force will be not develop any shear force and bending moment. The vertical and horizontal components causes only thrust in the beam. ఈ హారిజంటల్ కాంపోనెంట్ ఏంటి? W cos theta. ఇది ఏం చేస్తుంది? బీమ్ ని హారిజంటల్ గా మూవ్ చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తుంది, అంటే థ్రస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది. బట్ షియర్ ఫోర్స్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేయదు. షియర్ ఫోర్స్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ ఏమాత్రం డెవలప్ అవ్వవు W cos theta వల్ల. దేని వల్ల డెవలప్ అవుతాయి షియర్ ఫోర్స్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్? W sin theta వల్ల. ఎందుకంటే ఆ W sin theta వల్లనే బీమ్ ఇలా బెండ్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి షియర్ ఫోర్సెస్ అండ్ బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్స్ విల్ బి డెవలప్డ్ డ్యూ టు the vertical component of the inclined force or inclined load. So shear force and bending moment are caused by the vertical components only. Clear students? ఇట్లా ఇంక్లైన్డ్ గా ఇస్తే ఫస్ట్ దాన్ని రిజాల్వ్ చేసుకొని దీన్ని ఒమిట్ చేయండి, దీన్ని నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేయండి. W cos theta లాంటి హారిజంటల్ కాంపోనెంట్ నెగ్లెక్ట్ చేసి ఓన్లీ వర్టికల్ కాంపోనెంట్ మాత్రమే మనం కన్సిడర్ చేస్తాం ఈ చాప్టర్ లో. క్లియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్? Let us go for the next slide. This is the nature of shear force and bending moments variation along the beam. Different types of loads apply అయినప్పుడు shear force bending moment ఏ విధంగా నేచర్ చేంజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో చేంజ్ అయ్యే నేచర్ మనం గుర్తు పెట్టుకుంటే ఈ టేబుల్ మనకి ఇంపార్టెంట్ అండి. ఈ టేబుల్ మీరు గుర్తు పెట్టుకుంటే షియర్ ఫోర్స్ ఎలా డ్రా చేయాలి, షియర్ ఫోర్స్ డయాగ్రామ్, బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ డయాగ్రామ్ ఎలా డ్రా చేయాలి అనేది మనకి తెలుస్తుంది. క్లియర్ స్టూడెంట్స్? లెట్ us look the table which shows the variation of shear force and bending moment for different types of loads. So first column serial number, second column is the load, applied load, type of load, third column is shear force and the fourth column is bending moment. So no load అంటే బీమ్ పైన ఏ లోడ్ యాక్ట్ అవ్వకపోయినా, అదర్వైజ్ పాయింట్ లోడ్ యాక్ట్ అయినా, పాయింట్ లోడ్ అంటే లైక్ దిస్ కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్ పాయింట్ లోడ్ యాక్ట్ అయినా కూడా షియర్ ఫోర్స్ ఎలా వేరీ అవుతుంది? కాన్స్టెంట్ లైన్ హారిజంటల్ గా ఉంటుంది. షియర్ ఫోర్స్ డయాగ్రామ్ లో వేరియేషన్ ఆఫ్ షియర్ ఫోర్స్ ఈస్ కాన్స్టెంట్, అంటే ఇక్కడ నుండి ఇక్కడ వరకు ఏమాత్రం వేరీ అవ్వదు. పాయింట్ లోడ్ యాక్ట్ అయినా, నో లోడ్ లేకపోయినా కూడా కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉంటుంది షియర్ ఫోర్స్. ఓకే స్టూడెంట్స్? అదే బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ అయితే లీనియర్ గా వేరీ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. లీనియర్లీ వేరీ ఇంక్లైన్ లైన్ డ్రా చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. మనం ఇంక్లైన్ లైన్, స్ట్రైట్ లైన్ డ్రా చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. ఎప్పుడు లోడ్ లేకపోయినా కూడా, అదర్వైజ్ ఒక పాయింట్ లోడ్ అప్లై అయినా కూడా బెండింగ్ మూమెంట్ డయాగ్రామ్ లో మనం లీనియర్లీ వేరియింగ్ లైన్ డ్రా చేయాలి. ఇది మీకు డయాగ్రామ్ డ్రా చేస్తున్నప్పుడు అర్థమవుతుంది ఏంటనేది, ఎలా దీన్ని చూస్తూ డ్రా చేయాలి. Next, uniformly distributed load, that is the UDL, uniformly distributed load. As earlier I said that the UDL will be represented as like this on the beam. This is the UDL. If the load is UDL, the shear force variation is inclined or linearly varying. Linear ga vary avutu untundi along the beam. Ante inclined line draw cheyalsi untundi madam. Then bending moment is in the form of parabolical curve. Parabolical ga vary avutu untundi. Oka curve draw cheyalsi untundi manam bending moment diagram lo. So along the beam we have to draw a parabolic curve if the load is UDL. Next, third type of load is uniformly varying load. Like this triangular load act అవుతే beam పైన shear force parabolical గా vary అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. We have to draw the shear force diagram as parabolical curve, and bending moment cubic parabolical గా vary అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. Cubic parabolical గా అంటే పవర్ క్యూబ్ గా వేరీ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. ఎక్స్ స్క్వేర్ అంటే parabolical curve గా ఉంటుంది. ఎక్స్ క్యూబ్ అంటే క్యూబిక్ గా వేరీ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది along the beam. X is the length varies along the beam. So మనం bending moment diagram ని ఒక కర్వేచర్ ఎక్కువగా ఉన్న కర్వ్ తో డ్రా చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. The cubic parabolic curve having more curvature than the parabolic curve. So this is the table which represents the variation of shear force and bending moment along the beam based on different types of loads. Dear students, ఇది మీ నోట్స్ లో రాసుకోండి. Otherwise go through once again this video to understand the shear force and bending moment nature along the beam, and then only we can solve, or then only we can easily draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams along the beam for the topics. Let us flow up to now. In the next class, deeply we go for to draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams.